and welcome to Binge. I'm Alex Jones.
And I'm Harry Judd. Al has been to the Pal.
Nice.
Alex has been on royal appointment for World Book Day.
I have indeed. And you got a lot of love from Izzy after she'd seen Bridget Jones. I can understand where she's coming from. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
Harry is also still on Veep. Now, this is a telly-based podcast. He would have thought he would have turned to something else, but no, he's still going with Veep and now cites it as meditation.
And you've seen a new series on ITV about Ruth Ellis, who was the last woman to be hung in the UK.
It's so interesting. And our guest is Queen of the Cakes. It's Candice Brown.
Right, let's get into it.
Well, we have got some big news, haven't we?
We do.
We are very excited to partner with Ninja Crispi to launch their brand new 4-in-1 portable glass air fryer. This is the ultimate cooking solution for prep, cooking, storing and cleaning. And honestly, we've had a good look at this, haven't we, Harry?
Well, I've had a little go as well.
Well, it's going to change your life. We got it out of the box and they were smaller than I thought, which first of all, I love because it means you can actually store it in a cupboard when you're not using it. Most of these things are massive and they have to live on top of the counter, which I hate. So I love it for that reason.
And it's portable.
Yeah.
If you want to take it to the one show, Al.
Definitely. We eat late of an evening because obviously the one show doesn't come off air till 7:30. And I could actually take it with me.
Now, you can obviously cook loads of different things in the Crispy, but you love a bit of salmon and veg, don't you, Al?
Well, I feel it's one of the easiest things to make for the children. And it's delicious. They love it. So a bit of salmon with a bit of veg, broccoli, or we had asparagus. Holly and Kaz, who came here from Ninja, they were lovely, weren't they?
Very nice.
And they brought some salmon and some asparagus. Harry actually said he might eat asparagus for the rest of his life. It was that
I
nice.
had about 20 pieces of asparagus. It was so good and crispy.
It was delicious.
That's the thing.
And 10 minutes later, we had a delicious meal in front of us.
Yeah, it's literally that easy. And there's two different glass attachments. So there's a bigger one you could do like a whole family meal in, or there's a smaller one if you're just making something for the kids. So easy. And I'd made something with Lola the other day and she enjoyed just prepping it, seeing it, putting it in, and you can just watch it crisp up as well. So it's quite a fun little experiment with the kids.
And then Holly brought a leftover pizza, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she'd had a delivery pizza the night before and brought it in to demonstrate the crispy setting.
Yeah.
And she said, I kid you not, this will taste like it's just been delivered, this pizza. And I thought, it can't. Because if you microwave a pizza, it gets a bit wet, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's no more microwaving pizzas anymore if you've got a crispy.
No. So she put it in, literally 4 minutes later, this pizza was glistening. That's the word.
It was. That was the word I used.
You'd just opened the box and it was crispy. It was delicious.
The other thing with these glass attachments, you can literally just pop all the food in, really easy prep, shove the crispy on top, watch it cook, done, 10, 12 minutes. And then you can just put the glass container straight into the dishwasher.
That's the bit I really like. Honestly, cooking for kids, this is a game changer, I think. It makes things so much quicker, simpler. And as you say, they can get involved.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get hot. It's not like dealing with an oven.
Well, we've already got our hands on one of these little kitchen heroes, and we're going to give you the chance to win one of your own. Just listen to our Bingees episode dropping next week for your chance to win.
Very exciting. That is a good prize, isn't it?
It is.
Well, if you want to see Harry and I have a go and pulling it all out the box, you can have a good look. It's on our Binge Insta page. There's a little video on there so you can have a closer look. And it comes in loads of different colours as well, which I like.
Yes.
How's your week been, Harry?
Yeah, it's been good, thank you.
Well, you had a bit of an encounter with a mum in the park.
Oh, yeah. So obviously the sun's been out this week, which is good. Took Lockie to the park and we were there for like 4 hours. Because,
in a park?
Yeah, well, Chiswick House, you know. We were in a big, big park.
Sorry, hang on a minute. That is not a park. That is not a playground. That is a stately home with grounds.
Okay, we were in like a big old stately home, not my stately home. Big old, it is, I'd call it a big park, right? And there's a playground.
That's my favourite place in Chiswick.
Yeah, massive, right? It's beautiful. Yeah. But we were there for 4 hours because I was like, right, I'm with my 3-year-old. I'm in no rush. I've not got to be anywhere. I'm just going to follow his lead, do whatever he wants. 4 hours later, I was like, please, can we fucking go home? Jeez.
What did you find to do? I mean, that's a good old stint.
I just stayed patient. Anyway, I just thought you'd like this. I met this mum who had 2 boys there. And we just basically, the boys were like, I say chatting, Lockie was just going, I'm Miss Spider-Man. And the other one was going, I'm a pirate. Who are my hearties? And they just kept saying that back and forth to each other. And I suggested they started a podcast, to which the mum thought that was quite funny. And then we started talking. And her 1.5-year-old basically would not leave her alone. So whenever she walked off to her other child, it was literally just going, oh, mama.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, and I felt so sorry for her, right? He just literally was just tears streaming down his face. Mama, she was like, it's literally like this the whole time. And I said, oh, don't worry. Like, he'll grow out of it. She was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, he'll grow out of it. She went, good. I want to die in peace. And then I was on... well, Izzy gets so annoyed when I say this. I was on daddy daycare. I was just looking after the kids. And she went off at 3:30 on Saturday afternoon to watch Bridget Jones at the cinema.
Lovely.
Yep, she went for food with a friend, watched Bridget Jones, and she came back, and I was just trying to get Lockie to bed, and she walked through the door. I heard her come in. She came upstairs, and she was literally just in floods of tears. And bear in mind, it was a sort of probably 20-minute drive home, and she said she was crying the whole way home. She proceeded to cry for at least an hour. Yeah. And then she calmed down, and then she started talking about the film again whilst we were eating. She just started crying again.
Honestly, I think I gave Charlie a scene-by-scene synopsis. I was so beside myself.
Yeah.
See, I'm really glad that not that she was crying, but I'm glad it affected Izzy in the same way, because lots of people, when we came out the screen, were going, what's wrong with you? I found it really, really touching.
She was crying, so she came and she hugged me, and she was like, I love you so much. I hope you feel that I appreciate you.
I know. Charlie couldn't believe it. I was like, I don't want you to die. Don't die.
Oh, no, all the kids were like, the kids are like, when one of you cries, they're looking at you like, what is going on?
Yeah.
All three of them were just looking at mummy, and she was just sobbing.
I know. I think it's honestly the best Bridget Jones film.
She said it's the best rom-com she's ever seen.
Me too.
And she was going, it was so funny as well.
Honestly, some people hate it, but I absolutely loved it. Lots of people do love it, though.
And then just quickly, I'm still completely hooked on Veep. It's just, for me, it just makes me feel happy. I mean, I know we co-host a podcast where I'm supposed to be giving more varied recommendations on things to watch. I get into bed at night and I just want to watch Veep. But because we have this podcast, I made myself watch something else. I watched Brassic, because a good friend of mine I saw this week, who we have very similar tastes, he's recommended things to me in the past. He was like, mate, you have to watch Brassic. So I watched first episode of Brassic and I really enjoyed it. And I'm on the second episode now, and it's very funny. Some locals in a town up north. They're sort of working class background, and they have like a bit of a weed farm, and they just get up to no good, and it's funny and quite ridiculous, but really enjoyable. So I'm looking forward to watching that side by side with Veep.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yep.
I don't think you liked it that much.
I did. No, I did.
Because
I did. No.
You're like, okay, I think you've given it time. You've watched one episode. But I can tell, like Veep, you really like that. You're like, all right, I tried something else. It was all right.
No. Okay, hear me out, because, fair enough. I've done this several times where I've talked about something as if I really like it, and I haven't really. Well, I've eventually realised, no, I'm not into this. But Brassic, no, there was moments in the first episode where I was like, yeah, no, this is okay. Got to the end of the first episode, I was like, no, that was solid. That was really solid. And I can see this going on an interesting path, and I'm definitely sticking with it. It was funny, and no, honestly. Anyway, enough about me. And talking of stately homes, Al, you've been to the palace this week.
I went to the stately home, Harry.
You did?
The palace, Buckingham Palace.
Two of my bandmates were there.
They were?
Yeah.
I thought, where's Harry? Skiving.
Not invited.
We were at the palace to do the final of 500 words.
Yes.
Yes, so this is a sort of a writing competition for young people. Ted said, I'm not doing that because I can't win because you work there.
If you're damn right. He's right. Don't bother. Don't waste your time, Ted. Bother.
But we had the 50 finalists at Buckingham Palace, and then there was all sorts of different people: Olivia Colman, Matt Lucas, Rob Brydon, your bandmate. But it was lovely, and Her Majesty the Queen was part of it. I was nervous wreck.
Were
she was
you?
sitting right in front of me while I had to host the whole thing and ask her to come on stage every time to give a medal. And you have to say, please welcome Her Majesty the Queen on stage. And by the end, I was mixing words up. You can imagine. Please, Her Highness, Her Royal Highness. It's coming. Oh, honestly. And they kept cueing me. And I was like, she's still talking to the kids because she was like, oh, well done. That's a great story. I really loved the end. And they were like, cue Alex. I'm like, no, I'm not
don't
talking over
interrupt.
her. But it was a lovely event. So,
How much prep did you have?
not a lot that day. But that is going out tonight because it's World Book Day. So that's what it's all for, you see.
Oh, yes. We've had some Amazon deliveries with the kids' choices of outfits.
What outfits do they
Lola
choose?
is going as the monkey from Pippi Longstockings because her mate is going to be Pippi Longstockings.
Great.
And Kit has said, if I decide to dress up, because I might not, I'm going to go as Where's Wally, which I think is a brilliant shout.
That is a brilliant shout.
Really
and
good.
easy. See, Ted's school get them to go in pyjamas, which is ideal.
Why?
Because they like, you read at night.
Yeah, fair enough. You don't have to buy a costume. It's not as fun for the kids, though, is it?
Oh, but he hates dressing up. So he went as the BFG. He was the most miserable kid you've ever seen. He doesn't like it.
Okay.
And Kit is going as Paddington.
Oh, sweet.
I know, because we've got a onesie. And I'll give him a little old antique leather suitcase. Oh, and I should mention as well, we had some brilliant guests this week on the One Show, but one in particular, Lucy Boynton, she's an actress. Mm-hmm. You'll know her when you see her face. And she came on to talk about a brand new series on ITV called Cruel Love. And this is a bit dark. It's about the last lady in the UK that was hanged. Her name is Ruth Ellis, and it only happened in 1955. Can you believe that? But it's a real deep dive, and they use the transcript that was actually used in the proper court case. And Nigel Havers,
Yes.
his grandfather was the actual judge, and he plays him in this.
Really?
And his grandfather didn't want to convict her to being hanged, but there was no sort of other option at the time, because if you'd killed, you had to be killed. But she was so badly abused. It was like really bad domestic abuse, but there was no grey areas where they could make an exception.
I see. Toby Jones is in it. He's brilliant.
Honestly, I watched the first episode. It was absolutely brilliant.
Amazing. What's it called, Al?
Cruel Love.
Cruel Love.
ITV and ITVX.
Okay. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, shall we get our guest on?
Right, joining us now is the Queen of Cakes. She won the Great British Bake Off in, believe it or not, 2016.
Shut up.
Yes. Has written 2 cookbooks, Happy Cooking and Comfort, and runs the Green Man Eversholt pub. Went trekking in the Brecon Beacons for Copperfield, and I was there too. Of course, it is Candice Brown. Hello, Candice.
Hi.
Hi, Candice.
Hello.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. I can't believe. Let's just start with 2016.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Is that it? Or have
Yeah.
we got that written down wrong?
No, that's right. It's ridiculous.
But it feels like yesterday.
It feels so long ago, but it also feels like yesterday. And when I look at it, and when someone put a video up of me making the gingerbread pub, I was like, what? Like, how is that long ago? Crazy.
But it changed your life.
Just a bit.
My
Yeah,
gosh.
just a bit.
So you just said before we started recording that you've got a second pub. What's going on?
See, I thought pubs and like restaurants are supposed to be like really stressful things to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not bald. We've got the pub, the Green Man in Eversholt, and we're opening a place in the next village along in Woburn. So it's not going to be a pub. It's called Margot's Woburn. And we're in the process of doing it up. So me and my brother own the pub, and it was kind of in the plan to begin with. And then obviously COVID and all that kind of put pay to that plan. And then something came up, and it's one of those things where this is a really, really bad time to be doing this, but it's the perfect place. And you know what, when is going to be a good time at the moment. So we're in the process of getting it done up, and it's going to be breakfast, deli, coffee shop in the morning, and then kind of brunch, lunch, dinner, bespoke cocktail bar. It's going to be really, really beautiful.
That sounds really nice. Because I was going to say, how is it not? What is it if it's not a pub?
Yeah.
But it just ticks all the boxes.
It does, and hopefully it will do. And I think there is space for it. And we've worked so hard on creating something incredible at the pub. which is 6 years now. So yeah, I think it's a good time to do it in possibly the worst time to do it. But why not? Why not? I've got a few hair left.
Do you have a name? Have you said the name, sorry?
Margot's,
of course
And why
you did,
Margot's?
So Margot's, so my nan's name was Margaret, and I speak about her quite a lot. She's the reason I got into cooking and baking. I spent a lot of time with her growing up. She was the apple of my eye, my entire world. Wherever she was, I was there. And I like to think if I took anything from her, it was that kind of little bit of natural ability around food. And my granddad used to call her Margot. No one else did. It was either Margot or Margot. And he had kind of had Alzheimer's. Well, no, he didn't kind of. He had Alzheimer's. And when she passed away, he looked at me and he went, "My Margot," and I kind of said, "Yes, Grandad, you're Margot." And it's always kind of stuck. And I'm really excited about the logo and the sign, because we've done something really, really special with it using her handwriting. So
wow,
it's really, really special.
Oh, I've got goosebumps.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things. I think, do you know what? I work bloody hard. My brother works bloody hard, and it's no mean feat. But when you see things like that come into fruition, you see it there, and I keep looking at it and I'm like, oh, and I sent it to my dad, and Dad was like, "That's pretty special."
Aww.
Yeah,
That's lovely. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'll let you know how it's going.
We'll have to
if
come.
I've got any
We'll
hair
come
left.
for a visit.
Yeah, I love a
Absolutely.
breakfast.
I mean, a deli.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
We're all over it.
Me and Izzy don't do
Absolutely.
date night. We do like date mid-morning.
Same.
Yeah. I think breakfast is so, I don't know, people get it so wrong, and it's breakfast, but yeah, I think we're going to do some really, really nice stuff.
Can we ask then what type of things will be on the menu?
I did bring you some brownies.
Did you?
Yeah, so these are my banoffee brownies, so chocolate brownie, caramel, banana and crumble.
Banoffee is
So-
literally right up there for me.
This is a
There is
result.
a
Thank
bag
you.
of
I think we have
brownies
to.
in there. I mean,
Just
they're
out of
wrapped
politeness,
up,
we should
but,
have a little dig in.
A what?
A salad
Oh
bar.
my lord! Look at that.
Oh, what we need is a knife. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come. Oh no, they can't. Oh my God! Right, we need to. Should we just chop a bit off with our hands?
What do you call them?
So they're banoffee brownies. So
Why are
chocolate
they not called Candice brownies?
Candice Brown. I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it? I know people are saying. And do you know, when I was a teacher, that was because I was a PE teacher, and no one calls you your normal name when you're a PE teacher. I was Brownie.
Were
As a PE
you?
teacher, yeah, that was my name.
Come on then.
Sorry, you're going to have to.
So maybe it was always written.
The Candice brownie.
The Candice Brownie.
That is delicious.
I've got to get the
Good.
crumbly
I was
bit on the
gonna
top.
say,
I'm so
Are you still,
salivating.
do you still
dribbling.
bake as much? I mean, you're so brilliant at it, still brilliant at it.
Thank you.
And do you still get an opportunity? Because, of course, it's funny, isn't it? Because running a pub, obviously, it's not just the food, it's the admin, it's the actual general management of it. Do you get time still to bake?
Yeah, it's funny. I think when we first opened, we had people kind of come in and go, "Oh, I'm a bit disappointed," and I was like, "Why?" And he said, "Well, where's your lipstick?" And I'd be like, "You're lucky I've got dressed today. Like, I don't know what you thought I'd be
Lucky I've got knickers on."
Literally, and sometimes still have my pyjamas on under my dungarees. But it really is the case. And I live there as well. So I clean, I work out the front, so I'm waitressing, I'm behind the bar, I'm in the kitchen doing like as one of the chefs. So I literally do everything.
This sounds really great. But I mean, have you ever seen an episode of anything in all of this? When on earth are you watching television?
Late. I watch late. This is the whole thing. So I would sit up the other night. I was watching White Lotus. I know I'm late to the party, and I saw the last episode of season 2 last night, and honestly, it's nothing has sideswept me like that in such a long while. Like, I can't process it. Like,
White
it's
Lotus, fantastic.
unbelievable. And I knew I was late, and I was putting it off, and then I watched series 1 and was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And season 2, even better. Aubrey Plaza, just for me, steals the show. Obviously, Jennifer Coolidge as well. And I'm not going to say anything, but I was going, no, I'm not okay. And Nikki was going, what? And I was like, no. And it really, it sent me sideways.
Do you know what? Yeah, I have this with certain shows where it really hits you, doesn't it?
And I can't think about anything else.
Yeah.
And this is why sometimes I don't watch the last couple of episodes of whole series.
'Cause
Oh
it
my
just
God, we
throws
had
you.
somebody else. Angela Scanlon said that.
Yeah.
How can you do that?
I've done it with so many things. I've never seen
Like
the last
what?
episode. Game of Thrones, Sopranos.
Really?
But you don't watch the last episode
I
because it's too
haven't.
much.
I've stopped watching Schitt's Creek because I don't want it to finish because I'm
you're-
panicked.
You
yeah.
are enjoying enjoying it too much.
Or just, I don't know how I'm going to process it. I don't know if I'm going to like what's going to happen. It's my weird little brain. But yeah, it really affects me. And I watch Friends over and over and over again, like completely over and over and over and over. And I always stop before the last episode and I go straight back to the beginning.
Have you never seen the last episode?
I have seen it and it absolutely broke my heart.
Really?
But yeah, I honestly wish I'd not watched the last episode of last night because I can't stop thinking about what happened.
Have you seen Bridget Jones, the new one?
No.
Okay, I don't think you should go.
No, my friend texted me yesterday, Kelly, just saying, I'm a little bit emotional at the moment. Brain's a little bit weird. And she went, I went to see the new Bridget Jones. She went, oh my God, cry fest. I went, yeah, I'm not sure. And all she sent back was avoid in capital letters.
Yeah. If you're feeling a bit like that, it's not the one for
avoid.
you.
I was like, watch the new Bridget Jones. And I know I'm going to love it at some point. But yeah, I know at the moment that's going to be, I'm going to ruin it for everyone at the cinema if I go and see that.
So you said about having ADHD. I wonder if that makes everything just a little bit more intense.
I think so.
The emotion.
I think so. Yeah. When I latch on to something, that becomes such a thing. And I've noticed like things like replaying over in my head, and just that almost this weird like compulsion of oversensitized to certain emotions and stuff like that. And it can be with things, but yeah. Season 2 of White Lotus, it sideswiped me. I was not expecting. And normally I'm quite good at going, I think it's this or that, but I think that's why it's so good. But that did not see that coming, and I am fuming. It's just so slick. It's one of the best things I've watched in a long while is White Lotus. It really is. And I now know what everyone is going on about, but I am furious about it.
Wait till season 3. It's there for you.
I'm waiting till it's finished because I need to be able to binge White Lotus. I think
I'm going to have to do the same. I don't think I'm going to have to be able to wait because I've done that with a few things recently. The new Dexter, New Blood. I had to wait each week for that.
So I couldn't watch Dexter. I just found it too messed up.
I really like it.
I was just like, this is too dark. Do you know the concept?
Dexter's basically, I suppose the best way, he's like a vigilante, but he's got an insider because he's a blood splatter analysis. So he goes and he works with the police. They bring him in to find out where these blood splatters, what's happened, how they've been killed. He then takes it upon himself to try and find them before the police, and then he kills them. And but it's very, very gory. As the whole of Dexter, I think there's 8 seasons of Dexter's, and it's so good. It's heartbreaking. It's really lovely in places. It's really well done. They also did a follow-on from that, which was good, but they've just done New Blood, which was a prequel, and the casting of that is insane. Like how they've got people to look at. Right. It is unbelievable. Really? But this New Blood is very, very good. It's very, very good.
Did you enjoy Game of Thrones?
I loved Game of Thrones.
Have you watched House of the Dragon?
I've watched bits of it, yeah. I have started it. I did a dragon egg cake, so I watched it and did some dragon eggs.
Just quickly, I watched Junior Bake Off. I think it was
That is my absolute dream job, to host that. I think the kids' baking is just...
You'd be great on that.
It's that innocence, I think, of Bake Off, of what Bake Off was and is.
And do you know what I love as well about the kids is that they just got this sort of great attitude towards baking where they're just like, oh, never mind, I just crack on, and they don't stress too much. They're like, that's not really working out. Never mind, carry on, and they just slap it on.
And they help each other.
They help each other. It's so sweet.
It is lovely. Also, they're so bloody grown up.
I don't know. I mean, you've said that you watch things very late into the night.
Yeah.
Do you have time to listen to podcasts?
So I love listening to podcasts. I listen to podcasts and I listen to audiobooks. I'm not a huge fan of listening to music, interestingly. So I'll always listen to a podcast or an audiobook. And my favourite podcast at the moment, again, same vein as Dexter, is Psychopedia Pod.
Oof.
That sounds dark.
It can be so dark, but it's like crimedy. Investigator Slater, she investigates these true crimes, and I mean, think of the worst ones you could possibly think of, and she goes for even worse than that. Oof. He then asks questions. They do have a giggle about it, but it's done in such a way where it's very, very informative. You're finding out the different reasons. They look into like the real psyche of people. He asks really silly questions. They do like a pop quiz, and then they really kind of pay homage and they honour the victims as well in it. It's done so clever, but my God, is it dark. And I've had to turn some off because they've just been so horrifying, like child abuse cases, things like that. And it is absolutely horrifying, but these things happen.
They do.
But how they do it, it's really clever, and it has just gone from it is flying.
It's interesting, isn't it, how some people are drawn towards that sort of thing and then some people are repelled by it. I mean, it would not at all, I just would never land on something like, would you?
I don't know, hit or miss. Sometimes I'm in the mood for it. Other times I would, as you said, I'd be completely triggered. I'd be like, I'd turn it off. Can't listen to that.
I have done some of them.
So I have to tread carefully because I can find things like that really just like, do you know what?
And it is, I mean, because there is no stone untouched with this. They go into all the different types of ones.
Yeah.
But they've just gone from strength to strength. And then on the other side of it, things like listening to my dad write a porno. Right, my dad didn't write a porno. It's not my dad. It's someone else's dad. And it is just the funniest, stupidest thing in the world. But I had to stop listening to it in public because I spat my coffee out on the tube once because I laughed so much. And also when I was training for a marathon, was listening to it running, I had to stop because I was laughing so much while trying to run. I think it's the best way. Just if you want something so absurd and so funny and so naughty, then that. And I just love things that you can kind of immerse. But yeah, audiobooks, podcasts rather than music for me.
Let's do your desert island binge then. So we need a television series, a book and a podcast that you would take with you.
Oh gosh, podcast. If I was on a desert island, I probably wouldn't listen to Psychopedia because I'm not sleeping, am I?
Bit heavy, yeah.
I'd probably my dad wrote a porno actually because it's light-hearted. I'd have a giggle. I could ask my coconut that I've made to look like my mate what he thinks about this certain bit in the podcast. Book-wise, do you know what I think I would take because I've read it over and over and I just adore it. And it's just come to me, is probably The Great Gatsby. I just think it is just a classic.
Did you like the movie adaptation?
Do you know what? I really did. I thought they did it really, really well. Nice. I thought...
I didn't see the film.
Leonardo DiCaprio, isn't it?
Yeah, and Carey Mulligan, who I'm just obsessed with. I think she was perfect as Daisy. So it was a podcast, a book, and a
TV series.
Do you know, it'd probably be Friends.
It's got to be Friends,
It would be, because if I said anything else, anyone that know me would go, you're such a bloody liar. Why have you chosen that?
We can't have that, Candice, can we?
No.
You know?
It would be Friends, for
I feel
sure.
like Detective Brown dissects the investigations like she does her ingredients for her cakes.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I can
Oh
see
my
your
God, you're
brain
still on
working
this
that.
train of
Sorry,
thought.
I am
like
listening to your
No, I like
TV
it.
recommendations.
Detective
But
Brown.
hang on, just quickly, speaking of train, you saw Giovanna Fletcher in Girl on a Train. What did you think?
Oh, yes, is this going to be a recommendation?
Absolutely. How can I not? I mean, I loved the book. Loved the book. Actually, going back to say about taking another book away, if I was on Great Gatsby or Normal People.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And TV adaptation of that was one of the best TV adaptations of anything I've ever seen in my life.
100%
So hard,
agree.
And everybody messes it up when they put a book into TV or a book into film, and they did not on this. It was absolutely phenomenal. Going back to G, she was just, as everyone and anyone who knows her can imagine, she was outstanding. She's on stage the whole time. I loved the book, wasn't keen on the film at all, and loved the stage production. She was just, and I knew the story, I kind of knew what was happening, and I still was holding my breath and sticking my finger up at people on stage because didn't like what they were doing. Yeah, she was phenomenal.
And
so
that's
go and
touring
see
for
it.
another 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
She's in for another 4 weeks, and just absolutely brilliant.
I don't know how
Really,
people
really
do that,
great.
like how she does that 2 hours.
And
like,
she's
like,
on stage, she's not off
incredible.
stage ever.
Is she, the whole thing? Well, that is a good recommendation to finish on. We like a bit of theatre as well.
Absolutely.
Candice, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
When's
for having
Margot
me.
opening?
So Margot's hopefully towards the end of March, beginning of April. We're not putting a hard kind of, right, it has to be then, because that builds a whole other stress. It's waiting on other people to do bits and pieces now. But yeah, early spring. So yeah, I'll get the invites
And
out.
what are you going to make us when we come? Bearing in mind, Harry will be carb loading.
Carb loading. Yeah, I'd make you a stack of like savoury sweet pancakes the size of your head.
Yes.
Yeah, but whatever you want, lovely brunch, some stuff to take away as well. We're having our own coffee blend as well, so
lovely.
really excited for
Do
that.
you know what I think is really good with pancakes is poached eggs and bacon and maple syrup.
Yeah, I love sweet savoury.
Well, that is a classic.
Is it?
I
You
love
make it
it.
sound like you've just made it. But pancakes, maple syrup and bacon's been around
No,
for a
but
long
with the poached
time.
egg, with the egg.
I tell you what, on the
Poached egg
same
is new.
vein,
But poached egg, yeah.
is a croissant. So you've kind of got the sweet, but
Yeah.
bacon and a really runny fried egg in the croissant. Yeah, I love sweet and savoury
Now
together.
we're talking, so do I.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
we
love
come
that.
in. Book us in.
What kind
Okay.
of bacon are we talking?
It's got to be smoked streaky bacon.
Streaky, that's right.
Streaky. None of these cut all the fat bits off.
No.
That's what
keep
the
the
flavour
fat
is.
there. Keep that fat right there.
Well, all the updates presumably will be
Yeah.
on your Instagram
They will
page,
indeed, yeah.
which is at Candice Brown.
Yeah.
You'll find out when we can come for a lovely
Absolutely.
brunch.
Yeah.
It's been lovely to have
Oh,
you.
thanks so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
coming,
Thank
Candice.
you.
Starving now. Well, all guests now will need to bring a treat for us to eat. That's it. Candice has set the bar there.
She really has, hasn't she?
They were nice.
She watches loads of stuff considering she doesn't finish work till 11 o'clock.
So the thing I think that stood out was Dexter,
Yes.
which is something that would repel me.
It wasn't for me.
But-
It's a really popular show, though.
But it
Massively
did
successful.
make me think, I might give it a go because she's obviously so into it.
Well, I think she has a taste for the...
Bloodthirsty.
Yeah, let's put it. Let's be blunt about it. Candice Brown is bloodthirsty. Yeah, and she's very taken by the things that she gets into. And much like Angela Scanlon, can't watch the final couple of episodes of things that she's really enjoying.
In a way, I'm a bit jealous that I can't get that invested in anything to not watch the ending. I just feel nothing. I just think, that was a nice ending. There you are. Have a little cry, move on.
Yes, and also a couple of good podcast recommendations in there. My Dad Wrote a Porno, which is obviously a hugely successful
Classic.
podcast. What was the other one?
Psychopedia.
Yes,
Which again has got those two investigators talking about true life crime. But also, she's only seen, Candice is quite late, as she said, to the White Lotus party.
Yes.
She's watched the first and second series and spun out by the second series ending, which neither of us can remember what happened. But
No.
we know we liked it.
We both enjoyed
But,
it.
she's got season 3 still to come, as have you, Mr.
Yes,
Judd.
I do indeed.
Yeah, you'll enjoy
And
that.
She loved Normal People, the book and the TV show. And
Yeah.
also, Giovanna Fletcher stars in Girl on a Train. She went to see it. She highly recommends it. G is in that production for another 3 weeks on tour, I think.
Well, we never doubted G, did we?
Absolutely
Everything she turns her hand to.
does pretty
She's one
well.
of those.
Right, yeah, that's all we got time for. Don't forget, we want to hear from you about what you're loving right now. It could be a TV show, a book, or a podcast. Just send us an email, hello@bingepodcastofficial.com, or you can WhatsApp us. The number is in the description.
Binge is a Viral Tribe entertainment production. Join us next time as we help you sort the binge-worthy from the
Binge-worthy.
goodbye.